All right, guys. So, it looks like Jeremy Allen White, of the Bear fame, is being cast in Star Wars. So, this is coming from Christian Hartloff. He claims to have an exclusive on this. So, I just saw it in like my YouTube recommended feed. So I figured I'd react to it. Now Christian Hartloff, I'll just be honest. He's you know, he is a YouTuber. So this isn't coming from the Hollywood Reporter. It isn't coming from Deadline. Uh, Apparently it's coming from him. So we are going to see what he has to say. But I'll be honest. I actually watch Christian Hartloff like almost every day. Like I listen to his live show. So I like him. I don't think he would just lie about this. I believe that he has people that are telling him this, like sources. But it's just whenever it's like a YouTube guy, you just gotta take it with a little grain of salt. You know what I mean? So let's play.
All right, it's a big one. This is a big one. You clicked on the title of the video already. You know what the hell we're talking about here. But this is a major Star Wars news story. And who better than to be with me here than the man who sets the internet on fire every time he tweets
Oh, is it gonna be a Jeff Schneider? That'll be interesting.
something out.
That would actually lend more credibility.
Jeff Snyder is a buddy of mine.
Cool.
He has been breaking stories for quite a bit, and his newsletter has just been absolutely incredible. I put a link to his newsletter in the description. I highly recommend you.
Yeah, Jeff Schneider is actually a reporter that like specializes in breaking scoops. So he's like that middle tier, right? Like if some like YouTube shitter, but not that's not to make fun of Christian or discredit him or anything. Like if he's a YouTube shitter, I'm I'm literally nobody. But like there's a YouTube shitter, then there's like the more like credible people like Jeff Schneider who has like a reputation, and then you have like the major trades, right? Like the Hollywood Reporter and Variety.
Signing up to it today to get more of these stories. But I told him, I said, dude, next time you're on the show, you got to promote something Star Wars. He called me and said, I'm going to promote something Star Wars. So, ladies and gentlemen, the one and only, the Insider, Jeff Snyder. What's up, buddy?
Dude, it's good to be here. Thanks for having me. And for my subscribers who are wondering, well, why isn't Jeff just breaking this in the newsletter? You guys are going to get it in 5 minutes, okay? But I owed Christian one. I owed him for bringing me on the last time, and like he's the guy that you talk to about Star Wars if you've got some good juice, and I got some good juice this weekend. So
You did. So, I mean, I spoiled some of it in the title already, but so give the first spoiler is indeed what?
Jeremy Allen White from The Bear is joining the Star Wars universe. I can tell you that much right now. This guy, he's already Disney royalty. I mean, The Bear.
Yeah, I mean, I'll talk about that first, I guess. I mean, I'll be honest, like Jeremy Allen White, he's fantastic in The Bear. Like, do I think that him being a part of a Star Wars project is good for that project? Yes. Like, is it better off than not having Jeremy Allen White? Yes. But the problem is that Star Wars is at a point right now where just getting good actors isn't really like all that exciting to me because there's only so much that a good actor can do. You know, like Star Wars is just at a point right now where I need to see like 2 or 3 like really good projects in a row before I can really start getting excited for Star Wars again. So I mean, they're off to a good start with Skeleton Crew. Like, we'll see if they can, tee themselves off with Andor next year, which I think they will. And if Mandalorian and Grogu actually comes through and is like a decent product, then sure, then I might start getting excited about Star Wars again. And then I might start getting excited about good actors being in it. But like, I think there were good actors in The Acolyte, but that didn't exactly help that show much. And then I think The Acolyte is actually proof that you can have a good actor, but if you don't have good direction, then it's hard for the actor to work with with what you're giving them. Like Amanda Stenberg, like say what you will about her. Listen, I don't care whatever you feel about her politics or whatever. She's a good actress, right? Watch Bodies, Bodies, Bodies. She's really good in that. She wasn't exactly she wasn't exactly giving an Emmy Award performance in The Acolyte. And I would imagine that part of that has to do with direction. Because when you have like almost all of your actors not giving good performances, like that usually tells you something about the direction that they're being given. I will say the Asian guy, I don't know his name, he was good. the bad guy. But yeah.
That's FX. He's playing Bruce Springsteen for 20th Century Studios. Makes sense that Disney would keep him in the fold. And yes, he is joining Star Wars. This is his first big franchise, really.
It's huge. And I had kind of heard.
I remember I was kind of interested, I find this kind of interesting, I will say, that he's choosing Star Wars, because I know that there were rumors of him joining Marvel. And he even openly talked about it, that Marvel approached him, but he denied joining Marvel. I just find it interesting that he's like, no Marvel, but Star Wars. Absolutely. Because it's like, say what you will about Marvel, I think they're in a better spot than Star Wars is right now.
Heard some things about that. But then I was like, well, when you told me, I was like, okay, so I guess this is absolutely legit. So he's in it. And it also makes sense because this guy is like one of the it guys right now, right? You want to get, he's an incredible talent. People love him. And why wouldn't you get him to be in Star Wars, right?
Yeah, I mean, you can't just throw Timothy Chalamet and Tom Holland into everything. Jeremy Allen is on the level with those guys, or he's going to be. And I think that this makes a lot of sense. But, it's not a live action role.
Whoa. Well, wait. First of all, we don't even know what he's going to be in. Is he in?
Okay. Interesting.
So if I was going to guess,
he's Grogu. He is Grogu.
I don't want to guess.
Grogu's gonna speak more words, and Jeremy Allen White is gonna be voicing him.
If he's gonna be, there's what we have right now. We know Mandalorian Grogu is coming up. We know that. Well, we don't know if the Daisy Ridley movie's coming up. We don't know.
We don't know that, but I mean, he spoiled it in the title. But
Oh, we really don't know. Is the Simon Kinberg thing?
Yeah, we don't know what's after Mandalorian Grogu, and that's why, I mean, Mandalorian Grogu is casting up right now. That's what I'm told it is. I'm told
Mandalorian and Grogu.
Mandalorian and Grogu.
So
wait, hold on. Is it? I thought Mandalorian and Grogu was finished filming. Didn't they wrap? Mandalorian and Grogu. Didn't they wrap filming? Am I crazy? Why it's taken Star Wars 5 years to wrap? Okay, maybe not. Oh, yeah, okay. It's taken Star Wars a staggering 5 years to complete filming on another movie. That seems particular. Yeah, it's like... Why... What do you mean they're casting up for Mandalorian and Grogu? I mean, I guess if he's saying that it's not a live-action role, then it might be a role that he's just doing a voice role for. That actually, that actually might make sense. That actually would make sense. Okay, we'll see what he says.
Jeremy Allen White is in Mandalorian and Grogu, and you're saying it's not a live action role.
I heard it's a voice role. I heard it. I mean, do you want me to tell the character? I don't know. I was like, what the hell?
Yes.
All right, then. Well, let me go to my little Wicked notebook here.
Yes. We have the character of who he's playing?
Yeah, I think it says, I'm checking my notes. It says some character, Rhoda the Hutt.
Rhoda the Hutt? Wait a minute.
What?
Wait, Rhoda the Hutt does job.
What? Is that a notable character, or is it just a hut that is special about this?
Son from... Wait, you're 100% sure that Jeremy Allen White is playing...
Wait, he's the fucking baby from the Clone Wars? What? Here's the thing. There is absolutely no fucking way that Jeff Schneider knows who the fucking baby Hutt character from the Clone Wars animated show is. If he has Rhoda the Hutt, if he heard about Rhoda the Hutt, like, he's not lying about that. Because there's no way that Jeff Schneider knows who this character is. That's hilarious.
Rhoda the Hutt?
That's what I heard that he's voicing. I looked up the character. He looks kind of cute and adorable.
Wait,
and like you could sell toys based on this character.
Now I'm very confused.
That's fucking awesome, actually. I fucking love that they're pulling from they're pulling the fucking baby Hut character from the Clone Wars animated series. I actually love that. Some like random ass fucking character from like one episode of Wait, wasn't he actually hold on. Isn't he actually in the fucking Clone Wars animated movie that like started it? That was like hilariously terrible. I actually think he's not even from the show. I think he's from that movie. If I remember correctly. That's awesome. You know what I will say as well? I love, you know what? Like I was talking about I found it surprising that Jeremy Allen White wanted to be in Star Wars over Marvel. The fact that he's doing a voice acting role, that actually makes a lot of sense for Jeremy Allen White. Like he's probably not interested in getting signed just based on how he talked about Marvel. He's probably not interested in signing off his life to playing like a superhero or like a Jedi or something. But I actually could see him being interested in like having fun and doing a funny voice for a Hut character. This actually makes a lot of sense now that I learn more about it.
Confused because so we just talked about Jeremy Allen White is first a good-looking guy. Second, he's a major talent, and you're going to get him to voice a Hut? Are you? We're 100% sure on this one, Jeff.
This is what I'm told by my sources. That yeah, I mean, it's Rhoda the Hutt. That's the character, and that's a voice role. It's not like he's going to be like wearing the suit, I imagine.
Because Rhoda in the Clone Wars was, I think, kidnapped, and then they went after him and they had to rescue him and things of that nature. So I'm so curious to what, I mean, timeline wise,
it makes
Rhoda
sense.
would be grown up. So he would be older. So it fits that way.
Would he have taken over the Hutt clan after Jabba died? I don't know if they established what would have happened to like the Hutt clan after Jabba was killed. So maybe he's just like the new he's just like a new gang member or whatever. Or wait, what happens? Wait, fuck. I'm trying to remember now. What the fuck happens exactly with the Book of Boba Fett? I'm trying to fuck, I forgot. Doesn't Boba Fett go back to the Hutt people and like kill the guy who was in charge? Isn't that what happens actually? Is that what happened? I don't fucking remember. I'm going to be honest. I'm so lost on Star Wars.
So they get Jeremy Allen White to play a voice in this role. Okay, so we had Sigourney Weaver, which is also the one you broke too, right?
Right. She's the only other like new addition that we really know about. Otherwise, it's kind of just like the cast of The Mandalorian, right? I mean, it's Pedro Pascal.
That's interesting. Okay. So, all right, Jeremy Allen White in this role. So, I mean, that's major. And so, and like you said, though, I think earlier, it makes sense, right? Because Disney would want to have him be in the family more to do this. I'm just curious why they wouldn't get him in a live action role. But it also,
I would imagine that he might not want to do a live action role, just because he didn't want to do Marvel, right? If I remember exactly what he said. Apparently Jeremy Allen White was like, "Hey, I mean, show me a script, and if I like it, I'll consider the role." And apparently this is obviously a one-sided retelling, but Jeremy Allen White said that Marvel was like offended or something because he didn't just say yes. He didn't just like bow down to Marvel. So I would imagine that like for him, he just didn't want to like commit to doing a live action role. He didn't want to be like a Jedi that has to show up in a bunch of other projects. But he's like, yeah, I'll do a funny little voice. I'll do a funny little alien voice in a booth for like a day. And I honestly like kind of gives me Robert Pattinson vibes. Like I never actually watched it, but let me see if I can just find this real quick. Robert Pattinson uh, was it The Boy and the Heron? Like, he voices like a fucking bird.
Oh, that's not good.
Apparently, this is Robert Pattinson.
I'm back to my gorgeous, powerful self.
Which is awesome. Like, just the fact that Robert Pattinson actually like committed to voice acting and didn't just like lazily take a check like most celebrity voice actors do. The fact that like nothing about this is like trying to take advantage of Robert Pattinson being the voice. Like, I would love to see Jeremy Allen White commit to doing like a fucking I'm a Rota the Hate. Yeah. Like, I would love to hear him do something like that.
I guess he just wants to be in Star Wars, maybe? He's just a Star Wars fan?
I mean, listen, a voice role, they pay you good money, and it doesn't take up a ton of time. He's attaching to himself to something that's probably going to be a hit. It's not some experimental Star Wars thing. Mandalorian is already kind of well liked, and it retains his live action franchise availability. Or he could still do a Marvel role or a DC role because this is just a voice role in
Right.
Star Wars, but he's still a part of one of the biggest franchises in Hollywood now.
It makes sense. And so, are you hearing anything along the lines like where, because now you've got essentially Pedro Pascal, who's going to be doing a voiceover role, right? I mean, he's not going to be in the suit. I don't imagine. Right. I can't imagine he's going to be in the suit.
I thought it was you in the suit, actually, one episode.
Me?
Yeah. The way he walked, I don't know.
Oh,
Is
really?
that Harloff in the suit?
No, I don't have enough. I don't have energy for that. But that's Brendan Wayne, man. So I would assume that he's gonna be doing voiceover. Alan White's gonna be doing voiceover. I wonder though how much they're gonna. And this is gonna be German to you, but in the Clone Wars, they did he was very much associated with kind of. There's a bounty and all these things. So maybe you have the fact that he's associated again with bounty hunters. What's the play there, and how is Mandalorian and Grogu associated with Rhoda? How big of a story? I mean, you have Jeremy Allen White. You kind of want him involved. Do you know how involved he is in the role?
I don't. I didn't have a chance to ask about that. Yeah.
Okay, so that's major all in itself. We've got three big things from this. One, Jeremy Allen White is in Star Wars. Two, Jeremy Allen White is in Mandalorian and Grogu. Three, Jeremy Allen White is playing Rhoda the Hutt.
Yeah, I mean, I think
it is hilarious though, because I talked like a week or two ago about this article. I don't remember exactly where it was. It was either in like Variety, or I think it was in Variety, where they were talking to an insider, and they were talking about how Disney is kind of freaking out because they consider themselves to be a nostalgia-based enterprise, and that they're, quote, running out of nostalgia. And the fact that they're bringing back Rhoda the Hutt, guys. Remember Rhoda the Hutt? He's back. Get excited.
I think it's cool. I mean, who else did we want? Was there someone else you imagined in that role? Or?
No, not. Well, I didn't even know that role. It's. I think it's less about that. It's just like, why bringing in Rhoda the Hutt? I don't know what the story is, so I don't really have an idea.
Right,
but
where does he fit into it?
Where does he fit into
I don't know, because I don't know the mythology.
Yeah, I don't know the fitting, but yeah, I mean, look, if you can get what a fun thing that is. Let's say it's you have the Hutt, it's Rhoda who is now in this movie, and then at the end you see in the credits, you're like, and voiced by Jeremy Allen White. You know, that's fun. That's absolutely fun. It's not.
Yeah, I mean, he has a healthy fan base these days.
Yeah.
And again, I can see him in this universe, whereas it's harder for me to picture some of the other It boys joining the Star Wars universe. I'd be like, really? But he's a fit.
He's a fit. Well, there you go. So that is you have paid your debt, my.
I could also see him as like Imperial. I don't remember what the bad guys are called in the fucking post Empire timeline. I actually don't know. But I could see him as like an Imperial as well.
My friend. That is
Thank you for having me on, letting me share, and tell the crowd to subscribe before the holidays. Give a gift subscription. I'll do discounts.
Where do they find it, by the way? I'm going to put it in the description, but just so they have the actual link.
The Insnider, theinsider.com, THEINSNEIDER.com. And for your listeners, Harloff, if you just DM me with the password Harloff, you'll get the Insnider discount.
Look at that. Look at that. So you guys
look at him selling his fucking
not indefinite. So that's great. Thank Jeff. I can't thank you enough for that, man. That's a big one, and we'll be talking about it kind of more in depth tomorrow with Roxy Stryer, who will be on the show. So we'll talk about this scoop here. So Jeff Snyder, everybody, check his newsletter out. Do that now. And for you guys, what do you think? Jeremy Allen White. Not only in Star Wars, not only in The Mandalorian and Grogu, but playing Rhoda the Hutt. People always, I said this last week, I don't doubt when Jeff Snyder reports something. Jeff Snyder usually gets it right, so I'm taking this one to the bank. What about you guys? Put your comments in.
I think it's hilarious. I think it actually, like, when you think about it more, I actually think it makes a lot of sense why Jeremy would want to do this as opposed to, like, a Jedi or something. I don't know that he necessarily wants to commit himself to one of these big franchises. Honestly, I think that there's more of a likelihood that James Gunn gets him for either the DCU or a DC Elseworlds project, right? Like, the fact that James Gunn got Luca Guadagnino, right, the guy who directed Challengers, and he got Daniel Craig to be a part of that movie. He's Luca Guadagnino. I don't know how to pronounce his name. He's directing a Sergeant Rock movie. It's like, the fuck is that? But it makes sense because it's going to be actually, is that going to be an Elseworlds movie? Do we know? Hold on. Let's see. Sergeant Rock in the DCU? Do we know? Well, it says here Daniel Craig is in talks to bring one of DC Comics' most iconic war heroes to life as the former James Bond star circles the role of Sergeant Rock in an upcoming film from DC Studios. But I don't know if it's going to be in the DCU specifically or if it's going to be Elseworlds. Let me see. Do they say at all? It remains unclear whether Sergeant Rock will be part of James Gunn's main continuity or an Elseworlds tale. Okay, so we don't know yet. But either way, like, just the fact that they got Daniel Craig to be this fucking Sergeant Rock in the DCU, I think, to me, as of right now, I think a lot of these, like, more like artsy-fartsy type actors, right? Like a Daniel Craig who's played James Bond for years and probably doesn't want to attach himself to, like, these, big franchises anymore. The fact that James Gunn not only managed to get Luca Guadagnino, but also Daniel Craig to be a part of a fucking Sergeant Rock movie tells me that a lot of these more artsy-fartsy actors, like a Jeremy Allen White, I think it's more likely that he's a part of the DCU. Just because I get the vibes that, directors and actors just want to work with James Gunn more so than they want to work with the MCU and Star Wars, especially at the moment. So we'll see. Let me know what you think in the comments down below, and I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.